Dr. Raché has some more exciting news to share with us today. So welcome back, Dr. Raché. And let's chat about getting into shape. Now, with a diet that you call the 29-day change. And let's just link that with our 21-day Unique Lifestyle Challenge.
Okay, so what we do in our book that we've now been giving away, but we're also going to sell, I'll talk about that later, we have included a 29-day life-changing diary. And obviously, it's very much like your challenge. It is a challenge, we give you a few more days, to change your eating habits. So what I'd like to do is actually, I want to start from the beginning, and that is, what is a habit? If you want to change something, you have to know what it is. Now, if you look at your brain, and we've spoken a few times about our brain today, is if you look at a habit is basically a pathway in the brain that has been visited often, and it now becomes a thickened pathway, and that becomes a habit. It becomes an automatic response. Unfortunately, once that habit, that thick pathway is there, it is really there forever. And that is why it's so difficult to get away from bad habits like overeating, like smoking, and all the other habits. The only way that we can break the cycle is to form a new pathway, to form a new habit. That's why it's so easy to go back to the old habit, because that pathway is still there. So that's why we have to work on actually changing our habits or forming new habits. And the question is, can you? Is it possible? And the good news is absolutely. There's been lots of research done on what we call brain plasticity. And this is great because it's basically the brain that can change itself through new behaviors, focusing on doing things in a different way. You can literally change your brain till you're 105. By the way, we're going to live till that age in the next century, or next decade rather. So yes, you can. So and it's thinking about the brain and the power of the brain is astounding, because we don't even have to start doing the new thing. We can actually start changing our brain through what we call mental rehearsal.
Wow.
Let me give you an example. There's been a study, very recent, called the Pinky study, and this is just so amazing. So what they did in this study, they chose different groups, and before they started, they tested their little fingers, their pinky, the muscle strength, etc., etc. So the one group, for a certain period of time, hours every single day over a time, had to do exercises with that pinky on the piano. So they were exercising the pinky. The control group did nothing. And the second group, in the same amount of time that the others were practicing, they had to, in their imagination, do the exercises. So they just had to see themselves sitting in front of the piano doing that. The time after the experiment was passed, they retested everybody's pinky for muscle strength, etc. Now, the group that did nothing, well, nothing changed, so that we expected. Now, the group who did the actual exercise, their muscle strength, etc., improved by 53%.
Sure.
So that was good. 53% just by doing the exercise. But the mind-boggling thing, what happened to the group who only imagined doing the exercise? Their muscle strength in the pinky improved by 37%.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
By just thinking about it.
So next time, guys, when you can't get to the gym, just sit. But it shows us the unbelievable power of the brain. So you can literally make changes in your brain, and therefore in your body even, by using that brain.
I'm already imagining myself doing sit-ups and push-ups.
Exactly, So that's amazing. So that is habit. So we need to work on that. So what have we done in our 29-day habit-changing diet? So you start off, by the way, by setting a goal, a specific goal that you want to achieve. And then the 29 days each have 2 activities, and it's very important to do both. So there's a little activity in the morning, there's a little activity in the evening, and they are linked to the brain preferences. So that's easy for you to see, okay, this is an R2, I'm a strong R2, so this is not going to be difficult for me. Oh, this one is L1, oh, not so good. So I'll have to really focus, really get into it, not leave it just because I don't like that kind of stuff, but do the activities every single day for 29 days. Very important. Another thing that we've put in there is that every day of the 29 days has a mantra. In other words, a positive slogan. And I can't really emphasize this enough because, you know, our brain is really like a garden. The garden accepts anything you put in it. Weeds, junk, everything. The garden just accepts it. The same with our brain. But the problem is whatever you put in that garden, that's what you're going to get out. Of it. And if we don't understand that, we are constantly, that's why the trigger model is so important as well. We're constantly putting this negative thought and speak and rubbish into our brains, and we don't realize that that is what's going to come
manifest.
Exactly. So we need to, and this is why the mantras are so wonderful, because you get this mantra, the slogan for the day, and you repeat it through the day to yourself to make changes in your attitude, how you see life, in your confidence on this program, etc. And you go through that 29 days, and there's been wonderful feedback from people that have done this, and not just with dieting, with other kinds of habits, you know, that we want to break. I can't stress habits enough, because those pathways in the brain gets thicker and thicker and thicker as we persist with our bad habits. You know, the great Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do.
That's so true.
Excellence is therefore not an act, but a habit. And if you think of that we become these things we repeatedly do, and they can be such negative things, and we have the power now, if we apply the knowledge of our brain preferences, the knowledge of how our brain works reacting to triggers, knowing what habits are, we can apply these things, and we can change our whole life, our success, our excellence, because excellence in life is actually attached to what goes up there.
This is so fascinating. But Dr. Raché, you need to now tell these people where to buy your book, because I'm going to go out now and buy myself a book.
Okay, good. Absolutely great to hear that. Great inspiration. You hear that, guys. Okay, we've got a slide up there. So the book, we changed the old title to a new one called Your Weight, Your Choice. Same book, new cover. And as you see on the slide as well, you can order this book. The price that we are giving it to you now is a special price, so that's not going to, you know, be for months and months. There's a few books out there that we had specially printed for you guys, so the special price is for you. So get going. I've put my email address on there, so for the first a lot of people that want to order, you contact me directly. And we'll take it from there, and I'll send it to you. And I'm telling you now, it's going to change your life.
Well, Dr. Raché, I can't wait to start reading this book. But first, thank you for joining me today. This has been truly insightful. And just, you know, what you said as well is waking up in the morning and just telling yourself today is going to be a great day.
Exactly.
I love that mantra thing, and just telling yourself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
And that's the garden of your brain. If the garden hears that every day, hey, you know, it's going to blossom.
Dr. Raché, you are incredible. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks so much.